My name is Stephen Oyaro, although it depends on who is asking. Most people know me as Malume. Yeah, a name I picked from liking South African content too much. I'm a product manager stroke software engineer. Yeah, that's what I do on a day-to-day. For me, I'd place it back to my dad. He used to have some old Kodak camera way back. And then out of it, I noticed that I used to notice from a very young age, like a bad photo and a good photo. Then it went on to movie, and the shots that are being taken in a movie. For Breaking Bad, for example, like they have some crazy angles. So by noticing that and then interacting with friends, it was made known to me like, you have a knack for this thing, you should probably consider pursuing it. Yeah, so I just started from taking photos from what was that phone? I used to have some Nokia, I can't remember the exact model. Yeah, so I began with that and then slowly progressed. To me, getting a better phone meant a better photo, and slowly I grew and I felt like I maxed out phone photography. Yeah, that's why I decided to get a professional camera to try take better photos. A majority of the photos I take I'm not like strictly specialized, but for a majority of the photos I take, the ones that I take outside of the house would be of photos for nature mostly. And then I'm also trying to pursue taking photos of friends doing things they like. I have a friend who's into cycling, I am too. But when we go out cycling, I like to take photos of him. I have another who likes swimming, I like doing that also. And then when I do a lot of road trips as well, so I prefer joining those, I'm in some car club. So when you're going out for the road trips, I carry my camera and then take photos of cars as well. This one, I even ended up printing it due to public demand. So I put it on canvas and then I have it hung in the house. It was a photo of the sunset on a railway. So I wouldn't call it a lucky shot. I'm not bragging, but probably not anyone would have taken it. But I have a thing for when I look at something, I just imagine how good of a photo it would be. So on that particular day, we were taking a walk along the railway, and then I saw the sunset and then just imagined, what if I take a photo in this angle and then how will it pan out? I think all time, like anyone who sees that photo, they're mesmerized. Something that I say jokingly, but internally I'm serious. It's my retirement plan. Yeah, so it's something that I would definitely consider doing professionally. And the things that I would say have made me reconsider from time to time. One is something that affects a lot of people, and it's imposter syndrome. When you see like really insane photos that people have taken, and then, of course, you remember earlier on I was asking you about the gear that someone should have. Of course, going budget-wise, it's only so much you can afford to have. And then because I need to be taking world-class photos, and if it's world-class, the people that you're competing are world-class. Then if you compare yourself to those people and what they have, the privileges they have, people maybe take photos of maybe speed trains and everything, like you don't have access to those things. And those are some of the things that make you try to reconsider at times. And then also venturing into professional photography, there's a lot of technical things that you need to master, because unlike a phone, you take out your phone, it just adjusts everything and then just take a photo. Yeah, for the camera, there are a lot of settings that you need to navigate. You need to master the exposure triangle, for example. It's something that you need to really know properly and understand. And while trying to understand that, sometimes it's too much information to take in, and you end up reconsidering, like, is this thing really for me? Yeah, and then although rarely, there are times, there was once a time when I was taking a photo and then someone just made a comment like it's not well focused on the subject, like I have a lot of ground or something. Yeah, while of course we should take criticism and then correct, which I did. But yeah, when I hear things like those, I just try to reconsider, like, is this thing really for me? YouTube University for everything. That's how I got into the job that I'm doing now. That's how I learned the basics of DJing. I DJ from time to time. then like I believe in YouTube like so much. I don't. There's so much content that is available on YouTube for free. I usually do not see. Of course, I have nothing against people who have maybe schools and everything to train people, but everyone has their own method, and I feel I have the discipline to spend like 100 hours on YouTube just trying to understand one thing. So yeah, that's my route for trying to get better. It would be best to make do with what you have where you are, because it's growth, just like anything else that you do. Yeah, you of course need to have a phone and then take a proper photo with the phone, and then for you to know that you're supposed to advance. Of course, even for me, maybe the camera that I have is not the camera that I'll have in 3 years, but I needed somewhere to start, and for me to go or consider going to the next step, I'll need to feel like I've really mastered this, and I feel like I should just improve. So for anyone who would be considering that, is like just start, and then a community is really big. Like try to surround yourself with like-minded people, or people you look up to, or people who would lead you to or motivating you towards taking those photos. Yeah, so just start, find a community, engage in content that consume content that would help you grow. Yeah, I would be surprised for anyone who is interested in photography, for example. Like for me, if you go to my IG and in search, you just see lenses, like photos, photos, photos. Yeah, and a few, of course, as a man, other things. Yeah, so that's what I would advise someone. I got to know about Cameras Africa through a friend who's a photographer. So he's taken a few photos of me, and I've always been intrigued in like just what he does professionally. Of course, I'll hope to advance into editing and all, but currently just let's just say I don't have enough time, or I'm lazy to start editing. So I got to hear from it from a friend, and then for the camera that I got, the Sony A7 IV, I began using it. I've done, I think, should be 3 trips so far. There's one I did to Sagana, and then Kirinyaga. Then there's one, no, it's 2 actually. The 3rd would be next week to Diani. Yeah, so yeah, I've carried it all the time. I even carry it to office events and just take photos of people for free for now. Yeah, so yeah, I've begun using it and I like it, and I'm still mastering it though. It has a lot of settings that I need to understand and everything. So mostly I'd find when something becomes difficult, I just return it to auto. When I try fixing and taking photos, and then I can see objects on the lens, I know, let me just go to auto. It wasn't doing that. Yeah, I'm still mastering it, and I love it so far. Yeah, I rarely leave it anywhere. The thing that made me like Cameras Africa was how you understand the products you're selling. When I visited your offices, I wasn't even sure, your shop, I wasn't even sure what I wanted to get. Yeah, and I just had brand names in my head, and then yeah, I got taken through the various options that I could have. I was asked what my budget was. Yeah, so that's the thing I liked much about Cameras Africa. And I'm a person who does like a lot of research before deciding to buy anything. So for anyone who is really serious and does similar research, I'm pretty sure they'd end up in Cameras Africa. Cameras Africa, equipping storytellers.